like the awesome, beautiful, talented, spirited. She just brought in such great light into our radio program, into Under the Love Dome, that we're going to get her love, her wisdom, her spirit, and her passion, and hear her story, because we don't want to hear none of y'all whining, moaning, and complaining after you hear the story with Miss Phoenix White, who is in studio. And she's written a book called Redefining Strong, A Journey to Finding Yourself, True Healing, and Spiritual Recalibration. See, a lot of folk ain't even calibrated, let alone to get recalibrated. Welcome to the program, beautiful. Thank you for joining us.
You are so amazing. I love this.
Oh, it's so.
You got me turned up.
You got to be cranked up. You got listen. Wait a minute, and mind you, I'm not on caffeine or drugs.
Wow. You have, literally the parking attendant, he said, I hope you're ready for her. I just tweeted it out. He was like, I hope you're ready for her. She got a lot of energy. I was like, okay.
She cool.
And I come in and she dancing.
Okay, we dance. We move. What you talk about? I could drop it like it's hot. I just can't pick it up. It'll just be hot on the floor. Let's keep it real. It's just going to be hot on the floor. So, Phoenix White, you are so beautiful. I've seen you on television before. You have one amazing life. And, I love when I meet the beautiful people that you're not just beautiful physically. Mm-hmm. You have a beautiful spirit. Tell me about Miss Phoenix White and growing up in San Diego.
San Diego?
Mm-hmm. We say San Diego.
Yes, I grew up in Southeast San Diego. Mm-hmm.
I love San Diego.
Yeah?
Oh, I do. That's my getaway. Shh, don't tell nobody what I'm hiding down there. I come to San Diego to hide. I do.
We're just going to say,
I do hide. I can actually go in a bar and get drunk. Well, I don't get drunk, but, it's just such a peaceful place, and the people are so cool, and there's nothing like sitting on the beach and watching those boats and saying it's just such a peaceful place.
It definitely is my peace. Like I think God told me to move there because he wanted me to be more at peace so I can focus. Mm-hmm. So I just moved there, I want to say 7 months ago from LA.
Okay. So are you a native Californian?
Yeah, I'm from San Diego. So I moved back.
Oh, so you went back. You said, okay, that's enough for this.
for the first time.
Hey, that's enough of this. Let me go get my roots. Let me just go to my... Exactly. That's something when you live in LA and you go to San Diego where your roots are.
Yeah. It's different. Like I don't do much or go anywhere, but it provides me an opportunity just to be at peace, to chill, and I'm more focused, so I can do all the stuff I need to do. I can crank out all these projects and get them completed instead of being so distracted.
Because this town will distract you from your own self. You be trying to, well, where's Phoenix? Look, I had to, anytime you got to look at your own Facebook page to find out where the heck you are. That's my life, I didn't even know what that was.
I think a lot of people come here and they lose touch with who they are. Like they come here with one purpose. They're like, I'm going to Hollywood to do this, and then all of a sudden they chilling at the house. See, that's groupie has become a way of life and living.
Ew.
So but I'm just saying, it becomes like their everyday, just hanging out. The grind changes.
And the grind does change. And see, for me, it's always a grind. That I was very, very fortunate. Everybody comes here to seek their fortune to become a star. I was a star already, and they sent for me to come. Honey. And they sent for me, and this is what you get. I told you, they forgot to give me the Hollywood handbook. They didn't give me no instruction. They didn't give me no direction. They just said, here, mother love, sit. Talk to the microphone like it's your girlfriend. They're like, okay.
But I think that's what makes people special when you don't have the handbook.
Is that what it is?
Because when you have the handbook, everybody is the same. Everybody does the same thing. They talk the same. They dress the same. They look the same.
Oh, and it's so boring. Yeah. Oh, my
So it's great when you have no handbook and you're just fresh
all the time.
And it's like, I'm just me.
Look, you see how crazy I am? Look, they let me out today.
I love it.
So since they let me out, this is what's going to happen. Now, you know why they don't let me out too often. I was on the red carpet at an event the other day, and I just took command of the whole step and repeat. I just took command of the whole step and repeat. And, they get on, how they're very serious on the red carpet. Yeah. I am clowning. I'm throwing my leg up. I got men holding my
leg up? Girl, what you doing?
Throwing my leg up. I paid for it later. When my hip almost came out the socket and my husband had to hobble my behind back to the car. But it was fun while it lasted. I got everybody pumped up. I got them all excited. I went to a baby shower, and it was like, everybody was like, real real serious at the baby. How you be serious at the baby? Girl, they got a margarita machine. They got a disc jockey. They got a catered food. They giving away big baskets, and y'all sitting around trying to be brand new. Look, I got the Soul Train line going. I had the little Asian people up. You know, bless his heart. I had to give him a dancing lesson. Okay, on the beat, baby, on the beat.
That's your gift.
And we had a blast. And they said, as soon as you love mother, love the baby shower kind of went down. I was like, did it really? And I also want to thank our associate producer, Devon Morales, for hooking us up with you. Yes. Thank you, Devon.
No problem. Hello, world.
Listen, he trying to be all incognito.
Yeah,
and
he got his late night with love voice.
Yeah,
on.
Did you hear him?
Hello, world.
It's 2:00, honey. Listen,
so
trust
cute.
me. We're seasoned divas. We ain't that excited. Trust me. And you with your chauvinistic self. Y'all found out, he's so chauvinistic. He is sweet. Right. Okay. You don't know him like I'm getting to know him. This is an arrogant, chauvinistic black man right here. He could say what he wants. Trust me. We had a whole conversation the other day now, didn't we, Devon?
It's a very interesting and great conversation.
Mm-hmm. We ain't going to bring that up today. We're going to talk about Miss Phoenix White, who was born in San Diego. And you have an inspirational story.
Thank you.
Because you have been through so much. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us have been through so much. And you have taken the ugly, like me. We done took the ugly. Look, we going to get paid for the ugly. You want to do some crazy stuff like, I'm going to write a book about it. I'm going to put you in the... Don't write a book about it. You shouldn't have did it. So tell me when some of these things start happening to you, you know, the molestation and the sexual abuse. I mean, you always think women are too pretty to be sexually abused, and it's not about that. It's about the power and the control. Exactly. And was it somebody that you knew?
I think most times it's people that you know that are around in your vicinity, you know, that you trust a little bit, and then they take advantage of the opportunity. And then I think for me, at that time in my life in the book, is I didn't know that I could say no. You know, sometimes we become really afraid to say no, especially when you're around powerful people. So for me, I was always around really powerful men. So I was always told, you know, I could ruin you before you even get started.
And keep your mouth shut. You better not say anything.
Different things like that. So I ended up being quiet. Like I didn't know I had a voice, you know, until I found it. And then it was like, oh, hell no.
Oh, say, what the hell? Like, what? Do what?
You know,
I'm taking all y'all punks down. Every one of y'all is going down.
So it's taking your power back. A lot of the book is taking your power back. It's finding your voice. And the reason why I put so many stories in there, I didn't put any names on purpose because I didn't want to make it about the person, but more of the experience and how you come out of it, how you heal from the experience.
What made you say, after going through all of this and masking for so many years, because we all mask, we know we put on a pretty face. And, well, I didn't know how to mask. I
was good at it.
I ain't know how to mask. Whatever jumped off, I told them. They was like, you a little big mouth heifer. Why don't you shut up?
Yeah.
I was like, but that ain't right. But that's wrong.
But that's taking away your voice.
And you weren't getting mine.
Yeah.
You were not getting mine, no matter what. I remember I was telling this story the other day. I had one of the maintenance men in our building was molesting little girls, and he got to me, and I promptly went upstairs. I was walking up the stairs, and he stuck his hand up my dress, into my panties, and I walked away. I didn't scream, I didn't holler, I walked promptly upstairs. I said, "Dad, now maintain this man. This is what he did, and this is what he told my panties." I showed my daddy. My daddy went down there and beat the man within an inch of his life.
You know, when I was raped on my graduation night, I would never forget it.
Your graduation?
My graduation night by this guy that I thought was really sweet. I thought he was so into me. And he was like a party promoter in San Diego. And he came and he picked me up. He took me to the party, and I felt like VIP. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like super VIP, because he owned, he ran the event. So I remember he just never took me home. Like, he took me to his house, and it had like a gang of guys there. And I was just like, sitting there by myself. You know how you feel uncomfortable, so you kind of close in, pull in. And I just remember sitting there saying, like, can you please take me home? And he never would take me home. And then he ended up raping me that day. And a guy was up above looking over this, like, loft light kind of a wall, and he was filming it. and it was just, and I think after that, going home, I never told anybody about that because of the shame. So it wasn't even, oh, I have nobody to say, I didn't have a voice. It was the shame of the experience.
Thinking that you put yourself in that position and it was your fault.
For being so naive and allowing myself to go and be, try to live it up, have fun, and thinking that this person was so into me. And so I never told anybody. I went home, I was bleeding. I actually got dropped off at the bus station, never took me home. And I remember the bus took me like close to my house, but not all the way, and I had to walk like a good 30 minutes home by myself, early in the morning.
And having gone through this horrific experience, when you finally got home, did you call the police? Did you?
Never told anybody until I wrote my book.
What made you say, and you're somebody's mother. You have a son. He's 9?
He's 9.
You have a 9-year-old son. Who I'm sure that you've had this conversation with him so that he would not be shocked about this. Because when you got sons and you got to tell them stuff, that could mess them up.
I told him in a different way. So, because, there's girls.
How did you, did you share that in the book?
No, because it was recent.
Okay.
So I wrote the book after, before I actually talked to him.
Okay.
But, in school right now, kids
vicious.
They are nasty.
Vicious.
Like these little first graders are nasty. Like my son's in 3rd grade now, but it started in the 1st grade when they started sending him little nasty notes. I want to have sex with you and to do this and that. And I was
Wow.
Yes, honey. So that's what I had to start.
Wait, can I pick my face up off the floor?
Yes,
Did you say a 1st grader?
In 1st grade is when it started. Girls started sending him
My
notes.
heart is beating so fast,
Yes.
Phoenix. My heart is beating so fast. Oh, my God. I have granddaughters. Granddaughters, and my youngest one just turned 6 today. And happy birthday, babies. The twins are 6. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. In 1st grade.
They're sending home notes.
Where do they get this stuff from?
Well, it's parents and television. So you have to think like we're constantly seeing sex everywhere we go. So the conversation just needs to be had. It's not going anywhere, so people need to have the conversation with their kids. So my son, he was just, I probe in all his stuff. Like I look in his iPad, I lock him out of all his things, I delete stuff, I look at all the text messages that he can only
That's what
text.
you're supposed to do.
So I probe in all this stuff. And so I see what he's saying. So he still has a bit of innocence, but he's very aware. So
he know how nasty them little girls are.
He knows that they're nasty, and he's curious at the same time, which is, I had to talk to, because I was just
freaking out.
Yeah. So I had to talk to his goddad, and he was like, no, this is normal. They're curious around this time,
So where's his dad?
His dad is somewhere around in LA. That's the best way I could say.
She said, wait a minute, if you could have saw the hand gesture.
I did. I flickered my hand.
He could be in an alley. He could be in a park. I don't know where the man is.
I mean, I'm sure I know probably where he would be, like in the studio. He's a very prominent person. He's just not a part of our lives actively. But his godfather is. So that's who my son has grown up, calling dad. That's always been consistent. So I call him when I'm having a panic attack. So... And I do, because I feel like, oh my gosh.
Oh, honey, calm down. Can I just calm down. I have an adult son who his birthday's coming up, and your son hasn't even got to the teenage years. He hasn't started growing hair. His scrotum hasn't expanded. You got to calm down now, because, honey, teenagers make you realize why some species eat their young. And then your son, he's going to go from being your beautiful, loving, precious little son to, why are you trying to ruin my life? Lady, what is wrong with you?
Exactly.
Can't you just go up under a rock someplace? Why you got to be so pretty? It's going to I'm just letting you know, honey. It's just going to all come back.
Well, I scared the hell out of my son, honestly.
You have to.
What I did, because he had, like, little girls were showing him their private parts at school, like lifting up their skirts and stuff. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I'm having like this like
freak time.
Like, okay. And I was like, wait a minute, what is happening here? So what I did is I pulled up every disease that you can get.
Oh, you scared them. Oh, you went an old school move.
Terrible disease picture that you could get from sex. Every STD that you could possibly imagine. And I pulled it up on Google.
Oh my God.
And I showed him this long video about how you make babies and what happens and how he could make a baby with a little girl. He's like, no, you can't, Mom. I was like, let me show you. So I pulled up these little girls who were pregnant at like 9 in these other countries. Like, I pulled up so much stuff. I spooked the hell out of my son. He was like, please turn it off. Please turn it off.
He like, I ain't
So
never
disgusting.
touching a woman. I ain't
Right?
touching a man. I ain't
It's
touching
so-
nobody. I'm just going to be a monk.
It's so disgusting. And then I had to have the conversation with him about being his responsibility as a black man and protecting young girls and women. And so how I led into the whole rape thing was, mommy has been in a situation where a guy did something to me that I didn't want to do, but because he told me to do it and I felt like I couldn't say no, I felt bad about that and I did it. And I didn't go home feeling good about myself. So that's how I explained it to
That was
him.
beautiful, though, because you still kept the
Yeah.
power
Yeah.
and you let him know as a young man he's
to
responsible.
protect us, you know, and even other little girls that he said bad stuff to. I've had him write notes to their parents and say, I apologize for not protecting your daughter, for saying such and such and such to her. He has to write a note to their parents because I feel like he needs to be responsible for the things that he says and does and the damage that he can cause to other people.
And and a lot of these predators don't understand it because they figure like, well, you gonna do what I say because I'm the one calling the shots.
Yeah.
And if you want me to be around you, you know, you're gonna do what I say do. And I was like, please. Look, see, and I had a razor sharp tongue. I still have a razor sharp tongue.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was maybe about 17. It was the summer before I was getting ready to go to college. And we out there popping and, you know, shaking our thing, you know, and I got a cute figure and I'm built like a woman. And we went with these guys. And one of my girlfriends is very promiscuous, bless her heart, that's her thing. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm 17. I know I can make you pay for this. You sound crazy. What I look like? I ain't giving you nothing. Tell me, you gonna do it to me. I said, I'm gonna do it to you all right. You ain't gonna like it. And you better have a second one because the first one I'm gonna break in half. Now how you gonna act? He was like, I think you crazy. I said, you ain't seen crazy.
See, I
You
wish I
ain't
was like that at that
seen
time.
Crazy. And I was fly with the... He got me in the car
Wow.
so fast. And he just asked me to stop talking. I went off on him all
Wow.
the way back to the projects. I ain't seen him
You
since.
had that project round.
I was on him. I was like, come on with it. What you talking about? Where your money at? Come on, baby, put it up. Come on with it. And it better hit the floor. I bet, because I don't have my magnifying glass now. I don't have my magnifying glass.
Hilarious.
Now, if I get my magnifying glass, I bet I need it. Since you want to talk this bad talk with me, you gonna take something from me. You ain't taking nothing up in here, buddy. Anybody doing some taking this gonna... He was so scared of me.
Yeah.
And he later on, I mean, he was a young real estate agent at the time. He became a big-time real estate agent.
Yeah.
And I saw him at a function. And literally, I was 17 at the time. He might have been like maybe 23, 24. I didn't remember the man that saved my life.
Wow.
I ain't remember this guy.
I get like that.
He
too.
came and said, gotta watch her. She crazy. That's the chick. And he told somebody I was going to have sex with her. And she just went off on me. I was like, you weren't going to have sex with me. You was talking about taking stuff from me, dude. And I didn't remember him. I'm like, please. So,
But isn't that funny, though? All the guys that call you crazy or say that you're doing something wrong are the ones that have tried to play you some kind of way.
because you're
That's
not,
what I found. Like, it's like,
because you're
nah,
okay, and
tell the
don't
whole
you're not
story.
supposed to think for yourself. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to speak up for yourself. You're not supposed. Are you supposed to do and see being beautiful like you are? It could be a curse because they think because you're beautiful and you're tiny, they could take advantage
Yeah.
of you. See, right now, I think you're the kind of person. If I saw you and a bear in a fight, I'm gonna get a bear stick because you're gonna open up a can on the
So
bear.
like now, it's a different kind of power. I think comes out of walking in flow and like accepting who you are. And
We got to talk about that. I love what I love what you call
embracing that power. Is,
walking in flow.
Yeah.
In studio with me. Is this your first book?
Yes, ma'am.
First time author Phoenix White. She's written a book called Redefining Strong: A Journey to Finding Yourself, True Healing, and Spiritual Recalibration. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about recalibrating your life and
Yes.
even getting people to calibrate. They even know what calibrating is. It's like coordinate. You got to coordinate. You got to calibrate and recalibrate.
Yes.
And own your power. And
Yes.
I want you to talk to us about walking in flow. And we'll be back after these messages.
You are listening to the Mother Love Show on LATalkRadio.com.
Lifestyles. I'm Bobby Owens. Type 2 diabetes is more likely to affect minority populations, including African Americans and Latinos. Mother Love, TV personality and author, has type 2 diabetes and knows firsthand how to deal with it.
To manage diabetes successfully, you must keep a positive attitude and build a strong support team. Make sure you monitor your blood glucose levels often, exercise daily, eat well, and stay informed.
Mother Love says a healthy and balanced diet is very important.
You don't have to skip out on the barbecues, but you do need to watch what you eat. Choose healthy and fresh foods like seasonal fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and always practice portion control. For snacks, try Glucerna nutrition products. The great-tasting shakes, snack bars, and cereals are formulated to minimize blood sugar spikes when used as a part of a diabetes management plan.
Use Glucerna products under medical supervision. For more information, visit Glucerna.com. That's Lifestyles from the makers of Glucerna. I'm Bobby Owens.
Are you ready to be that person? The person who walks into the room and everyone pauses and says, "Where did that outfit come from?" Well, the only way to be that person is that you're wearing skin tone clothing. Skin tone clothing is 100% natural, hand-woven, raw cotton. And skin tone clothing lays on your skin like no other material. It offers elegance, comfort, and style. So if you're ready to be that person, then shop www.skintone-clothing.com. That's www.skintone-clothing.com. And at your next party, be that person. Skin Tone Clothing, for the skin you're in.
You are now listening to LA Talk Radio, where we can just say what we want. You are now listening to LA Talk Radio, where we can just say what we want.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a professional operation up in here. We back on the radio. In studio with me is the powerful, the no longer voiceless Phoenix White. She's written a book about redefining strong, a journey to finding yourself, true healing, and spiritual recalibration. Phoenix, we've all been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and you could have just healed and just went on with your pretty way on your life and did everything. Why would you want to put this in a book to share this with the world?
Obedience. I wrote the book strictly out of obedience. My spirit told me, you got to write your book. You got to write your book. I had no idea.
How long did you fight it? I knew you didn't.
I want to say about 3 weeks.
That's all?
Because when my spirit puts something on me like that, it's really heavy. So it's hard to ignore, and it goes and repeat, and then he starts sending it through other people. Like random people that don't even know
you
about it. Yeah, they'll be like, you got to write your book. You know that,
and
right?
you're like, what?
What? Okay, fine. You know,
so, God has a way of doing that to you. And the biggest thing is we got to get out of our own way.
Yeah.
And trust what God is saying to us. And you heard it loud and clear.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are so transparent when you're telling the truth. That way you ain't got to worry about going back and saying, well, I made that up. Like, well, that sounded good. I thought I put that in the book. Well, no. And I like that you don't put other people, you don't put perpetrators' names in the book because it's not about that. What do you want your readers to get from your story?
I think the main thing is that you can rise from the ashes at the end of the day, that you don't have to look like your past or your wounds, that you don't have to own it and walk in it all the time. You own that it happened, but you don't have to wear it as if it's you
every day.
You know?
That dress get funky after a while.
Yeah, it's like you can come up out of being nothing. I mean, stomped into the ground to being so incredibly powerful and effective. And I feel like every dark place has a purpose.
I agree with you. And you say when you can be stomped down to nothing. Nope, you're not being stomped down to nothing because you're not nothing. Yeah. You are not here by happen chance.
Exactly.
You know, like I said at the beginning, crap's going to happen to you. What is that crap going to do to you? Is it going to make you stronger? Are you going to get a life lesson from it? Are you willing to teach it to show others as a living example.
Exactly.
And that's not always an easy thing, because I sure didn't want to do it. I ain't want to do it.
But you know what? You find your power
Yes.
when you're stripped down of everything that you use to mask yourself. You know, so when you're stripped down to where, that's what I meant by to nothing. When you strip down to everything's gone, all you have is you.
And
do you still feel good about yourself? Do you still feel important without all the stuff, without the title, without the label or the marriage or the boyfriend or the long hair or the fingernails? Like, do you still feel good about you?
Do you like you?
Exactly. So when you're down, when you don't have a job, when you don't have any money, who are you? Who are you left with when there's nothing else? And I think for me, I went all the way down, like to being homeless, having brain surgery. Like I went through a lot of stuff.
Wait a minute, we're gonna talk
damn.
about that too, because you had what happened with the brain surgery?
It was crazy. I ended up having what's called an AVM. It's when you're
I know what they are.
I had an AVM, so it's when your blood vessels, like they form like a cluster in your brain, and your blood can't get through. So it can cause you to have a stroke. You can go into heart attack, seizures.
You can die.
You can seriously die. So I chose to have brain surgery, and what's crazy about the brain surgery is they told me that there was a great possibility that I wouldn't be able to put things together. And I wrote
Once
a
you
whole
woke
book
up?
by myself. No, that was the chance I took before I even did it.
Before they cut the vessels and opened them up so you could get the blood.
Well,
See,
no, they went in through my femoral artery and they glued it off with embolization,
Okay.
and then I had to have radiation, and then I had to basically be neutral for 2 years. So I couldn't get too excited, I couldn't get too sad, so like I couldn't laugh too hard or cry too long
because your brain had to heal.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that was a time where it was like, who am I? Because
God
now I don't have all the stuff.
God got a way of putting you down.
Exactly.
So
I call it timeout. The brilliance of timeout.
You know what it is? This is what I call it, and I've heard this so many times, and I know this to be truth because I am a living testimony. When you down to nothing, God is up to something.
Oh, yeah.
Up to, so you don't know what that something is, and you don't have to know what that something is. You did what you were supposed to do. You were obedient.
Yes.
He had to snatch your little nail behind down and get you still. He's like, okay, we got to slow your behind down.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of this stuff ain't working for you. You just still think it's all you. How about her brain? And my cousin had AV malformations on her brain.
Yeah.
And she had to have the same thing. And hers were so massive that she was, you're probably too young to remember this, but back in the 70s, there were, the National Guard came to Kent State University and they killed 4 students in a shootout. And one of the students that was killed died right at my cousin's feet.
Wow.
And it traumatized her, and she was never, ever, ever the same. She was 22 years old, and she started having these AV malformations on her brain. And so she would have it would seem like she would have a serious stroke every year. And she had to learn how to walk again and talk again. Did yours get that serious?
No.
You never had a stroke?
No, I never had a stroke, but that's why I got the surgery, because I didn't want to take the chance of having a stroke and having a son.
What made you know that something was wrong?
My brain was buzzing every day. So like, say if I'm sitting here, you hear like waves, how we can hear the air conditioning. But think about like kind of like a zzz, 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 zzz. That's how it sounded, like I was standing next to like waves of something all day. And when it would start doing that, I would get really dizzy, and I would kind of lose balance in my equilibrium. So I could be walking down the street and all of a sudden I'm like this.
So you never know when it was going to start happening or whatever. Is this a condition that runs in your family?
I don't know, but my sister has seizures. But I don't know if, and I think it all stems from something. But for me, it was, I don't look at it as a bad thing. I feel like it had to happen for me to be able to find my purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And then even with that, it was like I figured out that I was never afraid of dying in that moment. And I never knew that I wasn't afraid of dying.
Till you get close to it and you're like, what's the big deal? Okay, yeah.
I was so cool with it.
Peaceful.
I was cool with it.
And then when you get like that, then you can really step into your purpose, because now you have become fearless.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for being fearless. How has these these the brain tumors, the sexual assault, the homelessness, how has it changed you? How have you grown as a woman, as a business person, as a mom?
I think at the end of the day, it's made me more compassionate and understanding of other people going through different things. So for me, that's what that kind of gave me. And then it also made me very relatable. So it's like, you can't really heal people in areas that you don't understand. So it made me relatable so that when I'm telling my story, I can relate to somebody else and they were like, oh, I can get through this. You know, so it had to happen. So I'm cool with that. And then as a mom, it just showed me how strong I was, because I never thought that I had the ability to be a great parent. You know, I wasn't ready to be a parent. And I write about that in the book. I'm very raw about it. Like, I didn't want to have a kid. I didn't want to be a parent. I did it. I didn't think I was going to be good at it. But I learned my son. I learned how to fall in love with him. I went through the process of getting to know him. And, you know, and I was very honest about that stuff. So all of that is just showing me like, wow, you can do this. You can do this if you try, if you put some effort into it.
Take that word out of your mouth. I don't ever want to hear it coming out that face.
If you do.
There you go.
So if you put forth the effort, the things that come out of it, it can be so powerful. Like you can make so many things happen if you just put forth a little bit of effort.
And that's what people think. It's always like, you know, this big superhuman thing. Oh, I want to get married and find a husband. I got to lose 50 pounds. Oh, I want to get a career, but I got to go back to college. Quit with the whining.
Yeah.
Get up off of your duff. Put one foot in front of the other one. Quit dragging all that unnecessary yesterday stuff with you because they forgot about you.
That's that entitlement. It's like people have entitlement issues. They feel like they just deserve things. They're just owed things.
Wait a minute.
They're not willing to work for it.
Okay, because I was going to say, I have that same entitlement kind of mentality.
Yeah, but you're willing to work for it.
Yeah.
So,
I believe I should have all the wonderful things in life. I'm willing to put the hammer down and go to the wall.
But people aren't willing to do that part. They're wanting things that they're not willing to work for.
Well, you don't get the stuff that you don't work for, and you don't appreciate it when you have not been in the grind. You don't appreciate a roof over your head till you either close to being homeless or till you don't have one. You don't appreciate being in a car till you've been on the bus, till you've been riding with a Metro card for a while. You don't appreciate a good meal on the table till you done opened up pork and beans and you don't even eat pork and you got to take off half of the time. Am I having a flashback?
You know, it's so funny. Like, I did an episode on I have this At First Light series I do every week. So
now, what's it called?
It's called At First Light.
At First Light.
It's a motivational series that I do every morning. And so...
Now, is this on the web?
Yes, it's on the website. It's on my website and YouTube.
Okay, what's your website?
It's phoenixwhite.net.
I love that.
Thank you.
Now, did you name yourself Phoenix or did they name you?
I did name myself Phoenix.
Because you risen from the ashes like the Phoenix.
And I saw the name everywhere. But on that series, I started talking about how you can walk in purpose and how you can start redefining strong and how you can like go from nothing, you know what I'm saying, to something. And so a lot of times it's just people need to put in the work and the effort.
How do you redefine strong?
I own my own power. I take back everything that I feel like people had stolen from me, and I own it. I make myself responsible for the things. I was just going to
ask you, now do you see that they didn't necessarily take anything away from you as you were so willing to give it to them because you didn't feel like you deserved the power?
That's what I wrote in the book. It's like I had to find
See, look, I can just put it on my forehead.
Yeah, you can put it in because I had to make myself, I had to figure out where I was responsible for my own pain and what areas.
Everywhere.
So what I allowed, what I didn't, you know what I'm saying, what I didn't want that I allowed other people to do and other people to take, what I gave away. Like
when you give away your
also
power
in the book. So it's just taking that back and owning who I am, owning my mistakes, and being okay with that.
Okay,
you know, like holding my head up and being like,
been there, done that, got that funky T-shirt and them ugly pants.
All good. It's
we have
made me who I am.
We have a call coming in.
Oh, awesome.
Hello, you're on with Mother Love and Phoenix White. Who's this and where you calling from?
My name is Dr. Anthony, and I'm calling from Sacramento.
I know him.
Hello, Dr. Anthony. You have a question for the beautiful Phoenix?
Yes, I do. My question is, when is your next speaking tour, and how can we see it?
My next speaking event
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Anthony. My next speaking event is actually in Dallas on July 31st.
Wonderful.
No, June 31st.
June 31st. So now tell me, you talk about the book Now, did
Yes.
you self-publish or you had a
I
publisher?
self-published it. I started my own publishing company, and I published it on my own.
Well, you've done a really great job. I love the picture.
Thank you.
I love the back of the book, even though that don't look like you.
It is me.
I know it's you, but it don't look like you. That looks like a much more seasoned version of you. Oh, you know Jeff.
Yeah.
And I
love
saw that
Jeff.
Pat O'Brien
Yes.
has endorsed you as well. So now tell us about what are you going to do? What do you want people to when you speak? What do you want them? What is your takeaway for them?
I think right now what I am doing is I'm teaching people how to heal the lives they have and to manifest the lives that they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I am right now. I think that's where I'm most effective is teaching people how to heal and helping them to manifest what they want.
Now, are you still doing Made in Heaven?
No,
Match Made in Heaven?
No, Match Made in Heaven is done. Like, we wrapped that. It's already over, but I'm actually...
Are they going to do it again?
Yeah.
That's the church one, right? Where the church, where the
Yeah.
pastor and the church people help the people find a man. I had the guy on.
You had Sean on, yeah.
I had Sean on.
Yeah. I remember that.
This is like a whole full circle kind of thing.
I think I saw him right after he was here, the
Okay.
same day.
Okay.
But I'm actually producing the second season.
Oh,
with the
look
president of the company.
Look at you. Yeah, there is no stopping you. There is no stopping you. Now, you also are very philanthropic, and you
Yes.
do a lot of work with charity. Tell me about your work with the foster children.
Yeah, CYFC is a foster care organization that I've worked with for like maybe 8 or 9 years now. And I love them. And the reason why I love them is because every single year they get gifts for thousands of foster kids. And each kid gets about 6 gifts each.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, there'll be like 5,000 kids that come there. They have performances and they have people come and they give them all these gifts. They get $50. Imagine 5,000 kids are getting $50 gift certificates to Macy's and McDonald's. You know, like, so it's a really great organization that I see the money actually helps them.
We collect gift cards during holiday time.
Oh yeah, I saw that in email. Wasn't it?
Yep, we collect gift cards at holiday. Yep, you forgot to bring yours. That's all right. You're doing. That's all right. That's all right.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You'll come back and we'll get 2 gifts from you. What are you talking about?
Definitely.
So now, what made you get involved with that particular company, with that particular nonprofit?
With that one of my best friends, Lamont Rucker, he was actually working with
Wait a minute,
them.
Lamont Rucker, the actor?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
his fine self.
Yeah.
Can you get him on the show? I just
Yeah,
want to
he lives like down the street.
I just want to lick him up close. It just to excite myself so I can go home and have my way with my
Hilarious.
husband. Mm-hmm. He seems like a really
Yes.
nice, genuine
That's
gentleman.
my son's godfather.
Oh no! And there you have it. You got good, and that's
great guy.
That's really as a mom, and especially being a single mother, and his biological father not taking his responsibility.
Yeah.
To make sure your son is around other positive black
Yes.
men so that he can see how a black man acts. My brothers and I,
Yes.
we grew up without our father. Our father died when we were very young. And my mother never remarried. She always had my brothers
Yeah.
and us around strong black men.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know we were poor till I was like 16. What you mean I ain't getting a car for my birthday? She like, look, it's too many of y'all. You want a car, you better get a job. I was like, but I'm only a kid. She like, get a job. And
Yes.
and I didn't know because, you know, that's parents' responsibility to make sure that our children have the best that we have to
Yes.
offer. When you're doing all this, this isn't going to be your only book, is it?
No, I have 2 more books I'm writing.
Okay.
So I have Redefining Fear, and I have Not So Obviously Depressed.
Not so obviously depressed.
Yes.
That's going to be something because, and especially with African American women and women of color, we don't want to address depression and mental illness.
Yeah.
We don't, because we don't have that.
Yeah.
We're not mentally ill. We're not depressed.
Yeah.
We're not sad. We're not bipolar. I think I'm on the Asperger's chain somewhere. I really do. I'm not depressed, but I can get sad and I can go to the dark place. What do you put? Oh, I go to the dark place. That's why I try to stay away from the dark side because I can really be over in the dark. You know how you can get just like really crazy. Have you ever been so upset with yourself? You like, okay, I done got on my own nerve.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you know you got to buck up.
Or you just start laughing at yourself like, what did you even mad
What did
about?
you-
Like, you forget what you even mad about. You know, I'm like, damn, I was so mad. And now I don't even remember why.
And then you go, oh, that's so stupid.
So stupid. You know?
That's such a waste of
I just
energy.
start laughing at myself.
You have to. You can't take yourself serious. Sweetie, I never take myself serious. You know why? You wanna know why?
Why?
I'm not coming out of this crap alive. Why not have as much fun and laugh as much as I possibly
Right?
can, and do
Yes.
as much good as I possibly can, and
Yes.
make as many people smile as I
Yeah.
possibly can.
And just live.
And up to so people are so afraid of living. Let's talk about that walking in the flow
Walking
and
in
the
the flow.
recalibration of your life.
Walking in flow is, for me, listening to my spirit and going with the flow of the current. Like, I feel like for so long, I fought against the flow of where my life was taking me. Like, I never wanted to do motivational speaking and write motivational or inspiration. Like, that wasn't my life goal when I was younger. I was trying to be a singer. I was going to be a superstar. I was, like, that was my thing. But I've always been the counselor for everybody. I've always had to work out
God was
everybody's
just setting you up.
So I think it's when I made the decision to stop teeter-tottering with it, putting one foot in and playing double dutch with my purpose, and just kind of putting 2 foot in and being like, okay, I'm going to go with the flow. So literally whatever my spirit tells me, I do it. If it says move, I'll be like, really? You want me to move again? Like, for real? Like, you serious? But I will pack my stuff and I will move within the week. Even if I don't know where I'm going, like even how I got to San Diego, I didn't know where I was going to live. I packed up my house, put my stuff in storage in San Diego, was living at my dad's house, trying to finish my book, and got mad because I was so pissed off for not being in my own place and God having me move to San Diego where I didn't want to live.
With your daddy.
And I wrote a whole nother book called Not So Obviously Depressed. So then, for the whole time I was in LA, I was praying and visualizing. I wanted a house. Why do I live in the exact house that I have been visualizing with my big backyard, with my stainless steels, like my huge house I got because I was obedient. I just went. I didn't have no money. I didn't know where I was going to live.
See?
And I literally moved there, and within 30 days, I had a house.
So
I had a house and a job.
Okay. So now,
Producing.
see, this is when people, and that's why I thought it was so great that Devon hooked us up together so that you could share your story, because so many people are stuck.
Yeah.
They're so afraid of stepping into their purpose because it looks so big.
Yeah.
It looks impossible.
Yeah.
What you got to understand, folk, is we serve an awesome
Yeah.
spirit. We serve a force that is so powerful. Yeah, why not dream supernatural big? Why not dream about your big house with your big backyard
Yeah.
with your fancy?
I want it.
Well, there is. See, I'm a living witness. I am a living witness to stepping in your purpose. And people ask me all the time, why are you happy every day? Why would I not be happy every day? What is wrong with you? I get mad when I get depressed.
It's listening to yourself. It's like all you have to do is
not
pay.
just,
It's almost
not just
like
listening,
your
not just
spirit.
listening, trusting.
Yeah, trusting
You
it.
trusted.
I trust everything my spirit tells me to do. When it told me to drive cross country and come to LA when I was living in Atlanta, when it told me to move from one place to another, like whatever I'm told to do at that specific
You
time,
get
that's what I do.
something.
If it says, okay, Phoenix, I need you to record this video, I recorded those videos. I booked a job as a television producer. You know what I'm saying? I booked the job off doing my own personal videos.
Okay.
not
And
other people's.
okay, but see, you
Just walking in flow, doing what you're told to do.
what you're meant to do, what
Yeah.
your purpose is, and
Yeah.
realizing what it is, and that it's way bigger than you.
Yeah, it's
and
so
we
much
got to
bigger.
be stripped down to not. God, I was down so far, I was looking up to see the bottom. I was like,
Yes.
wait a minute, I can't reach the
Yes.
bottom. I can't reach the
Yes.
bottom. Literally, I had been kicked. I'm the one came up with that phrase, "kick to the curb." Because my
Yes.
boyfriend had kicked, literally. I'm
Wow.
holding on to his leg, screaming, don't leave me, don't leave you, can't leave me. He literally shook me off of his leg,
Wow.
and I literally fell up against the curb, and my nieces and nephews were in the window looking at me, laying with my big tank behind on the curb. So, Uncle, brother, he kicked Auntie Mommy she on the curb. I was like, I had been kicked to the curb, and the children see me. And I was talking about down to nothing, down to no place. I was homeless. I didn't have a car. I had a son. So I know what you're going
It's
through, baby.
crazy. And
I
the
know.
shame and the guilt you feel, especially when you have a parent, is I think what makes it really hard, because you feel like you should do more and have more for your kid, and you shouldn't have placed your kid in this situation. How did
Or
I get my
yourself.
kid here? like, but even when you're like whatever to me, but then
But you got another
looking at
person.
my baby, and I'm just like, dang, how, like, I gotta figure this out. Not even just for me, because I can't let him be in this situation.
Exactly.
I can't let him grow up this way. I can't let him be broken.
But see,
the way I
it
was.
puts some hush up under you.
Yeah, it puts some fire underneath you.
It
Like,
puts some
I got to make this
fire
happen.
in your belly, and you're
Yes.
going, okay, I gotta
Yeah.
take care of
Yeah.
this human being who is dependent upon me
Yeah.
for everything. This baby doesn't know about homelessness.
Yeah.
I can't let this baby be hungry, be
Yes.
dirty, not be clothed.
Yeah.
Get your slap happy
Figure
fat
it
butt up
out.
off this curb, and you college
Figure it
educated.
out.
Come on, girl, you
Yeah.
don't have to go through all this.
Yeah.
And I got up, and everybody said that the lady I used to work with when I drove a bus, she used to call me the chameleon.
Yes, honey.
And she would say, you don't have any problem with reinventing yourself and changing your ways like you. You are Phoenix
I'll
White.
reinvent in a minute.
You have to, because I get bored with myself. I get bored. I'm like, I'm so over that. Let's do something else. And I came up with Mother Love. And I'm not bored with her. Tell people how they can get a copy of your book and give your website.
Yeah, you can get a copy of my book either on my website, phoenixwhite.net, which I sign every single copy that comes through my website. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on barnesandnoble.com. So any iTunes, like anywhere it's, online, you can get it. And it should be in stores soon. So the hardcovers are coming now, which is great.
And give your website.
It's phoenixwhite.net.
phoenixwhite.net. It has been my distinct. I'm giving this to you because
Oh, I'm
mine
gonna
is
sign
not
it.
autographed. I'm
I
just
wanted
saying.
to sign it when I'm here.
Okay. It has been my distinct honor and pleasure to chat with you. Please know that you
you.
are welcome here at the Mother Love Show.
Thank you
Let
so
us know
much.
about your progress and your projects that you're working on. And just remember, I'm an awesome talk show host on radio and on TV. I'm just saying.
I got you, boo, because I love it.
I'm just saying. May the universe continue to open up and conspire for your great success. Ladies and gentlemen,
you.
Phoenix White, redefining strong.
Thank
don't
you.
Don't mess with her. She might be little, but she'll hurt you. And babies, you know I love you, and there's nothing you can do about this mother loving you. Peace, babies.
Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.